All right, so I'm gonna do a quick little build on the Mobigital O4 Pro. Just show you a little tutorial on how to knock one of these out if you want to. And I'm even going to do the little mod where you take the stock canopy, shorten it so you can run an ND filter. And for those of y'all that are going to run an ND filter, may want to check out Newbie Drones. They're the only ones where I could find an ND4. Not that an ND4 is going to be used in a whole lot of scenarios, but in some scenarios, an ND4 will be helpful. But Camera Butter just came out with their ND set, but I think Newbie Drone's the only one that's got an ND4. So yeah, so let's get started. I got a local job coming up next weekend, and 1 is none, 2 is 1. So I'm gonna knock out a second one so that I always have a backup. I usually run 3 just to be sure, because you just never know when something's gonna go wrong. But I'm just gonna do 2 for right now, and then I'll do a third one in the next few weeks or what have you. First things I like to do is I like to start off with the air unit. Go ahead and get that knocked out, updated, and activated. And the reason I do that is when the O4 launched, and it still could be that way, I don't know. I have not purchased any more of the units themselves. I had purchased 4 Air Unit Pros, 2 of the Air Units, and 2 of the standalone O4 Pro VTXs, just the box itself. And neither one of those boxes would activate. They would update, but would not activate. Sent one in to see if it needed repair. Came back, looked like they sent me a brand new unit, would not activate, so I ended up returning both of them. But the O4 Pros and the O4 Lights, I have not had any issues activating. But just in case, I like to go ahead and activate just to be sure on the front end. So let's go over to desktop. There we go. All right, so desktop. So let's go with the DJI Assistant. Got my USB-C. Come on, open up. There we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug in. There we go. I really wish it would recognize so much faster than that, but it is what it is. Have to be patient in FPV. All right, there you go. All right, so let's go ahead and update. All right, cool. So let's go back. And all right, so activate. To activate, you have to have power. So I've got this little harness here that I use. And plug back in. Turn it on. There we go. Confirm. All right. So now we're done with that. Turn it back off. I'll be glad one day when they come out with shorter 04 cables. I'm ready. I'm ready for them to come with the shorter 04 cable. Let's go ahead and update this bad boy. So I'm using the Flywoo Goku 7 F405 HD 1 to 2S. Oh, let's get the ELRS. Let's get the antenna out. Go ahead and pop this on. All right. Can't remember. Will it power up with USB-C? Let's see. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, good. So let's go ahead and knock out ELRS. So again, I'm going to use my little TP-Link dongle. Link to it is in the description. Plug this into my PC. So now I have two Wi-Fi networks, EL24P Wi-Fi. All right, so let's go over here. Oh, let me give you a desktop. All right, let's do, right, there we go. So let's go down here. As you can see, I've got Wi-Fi 3, which is my home internet to the world. Wi-Fi 4 is the little dongle I placed in there. I've got a little flashing green light here. Let me put it down here closer to the Wi-Fi dongle. There we go. Connect. Select. Flash. Literally that simple, y'all. People make ELRS way too complicated. Flashed. Now I'm just waiting for it to finish rebooting, and we will be done with ELRS. I really don't get, yep, success, we're done. Let's go ahead and unplug for a second. Close out ELRS. What do we want to do next? What do we want to do next? I suppose we should go ahead and decase. I'll worry about flashing that with the ESC CLI here in a minute. Let's go ahead and decase, and then we can solder up the AIO. So components, what we got, a couple micro V antennas. These are the best damn antennas for tiny whoops there are. Flywoo F4 F405 HD 1 to 2S. We got the M80 frame from Happymodel. We got 4 of my super smooth 1102 10,000 kV quad sensei motors. These things have been great, extremely durable. 3D print and some 45mm props. Kit. My kit is in here. This is basically what you'll get when you, not everything, you won't get those screws, those come with the motors, but the TPU and stuff like that, those will be in there. So real quick, let's go ahead and decase this this unit. Antennas, don't need those anymore. Let's go ahead and remove the camera. Got a couple screws right here. Save these screws because you will use these screws. They're tiny, so do not lose them. So there's the top. Come under that, just put it under the lip a little bit and just push up. Let me go ahead and get this paste out of here. All right. Got more screws. That is the SD card holder. Then we got 2 more screws here for the USB-C port. All right, then we're going to push on the USB-C port from the outside and work prying this puppy up. There we go. All right. Now then, let's go ahead and attach my screws. We're using the tiny, tiny screws that we've got. Then go back around and tighten. Don't tighten too much, just get them snug. All right. I'm holding down with my thumb so I'm not putting any pressure on the cable itself. Now there's 4 screws in each corner, so let's go ahead and take those out temporarily. We will reuse these screws, so don't lose them. All right, we'll do some work on that in just a second. While I've got this out, I'm going to go ahead and shore up these cables. Because there will be some pressure applied. And I found E6000. I personally like E6000 on this the best. I found it to be thicker, and so it doesn't quite get down into the teeth of the connection, but rather it sits on the surface and bonds real good for that extra hold. Whereas E7000 and stuff like that actually would bleed down into the teeth and gum up the connection. So I stick with E6000 on this part, and I'm just going to apply this liberally. Okay. So I'm going to set that over here to the side, and let's let that cure. We'll get the camera back. We'll put this back here and settle that. All right, so why don't we go ahead and do the flight controller. Let's get it soldered up. I want this one to be a little bit shorter than that one. So I'm gonna cut it even shorter. Okay. Cool. All right. So next thing we're going to do is we probably need to go ahead and do the frame. So on the frame, you can see you get those 4 pins. We're going to put the snips right there on the base, on the base, and we're just going to snip it off flush. You just want to flush snip. Going to do all 4. Now we're going to drill out those 4 posts. You can use finger drill. That's what I've always used. I build so many of these that I went ahead and upgraded to this, but you can use a finger drill to do this step. Been using it for years. I got 4 holes drilled in there. because this board sits so low, down in here, we need to raise it up a hair. And even with the gummies, 1, 2, it still sits low. Three, 4. All right, so we're just going to use those temporarily just to hold the board. And now this port, this HD port is just raised just enough over the lip so that you can plug a cable in. So now let's do the motors. Will this short one work? Yeah. those, don't need those, don't need those. Don't need that. You can go back. You will need those. Ah. All right. I want to find a smaller antenna. I need to find a smaller antenna than that. All right. So I want this to lay out this way. So I'm going to heat it up a little bit and train it. There. Get rid of that. Now then. Okay. Take a piece of tape and we're going to tape this down till it dries. All right. So I'm going to put glue along this seam and then along here, and then I'm going to push. Now we're going to take a break and just let that cure. Once this is done curing, we'll come back and we'll finish up the build. All right, so while that's curing, we'll go ahead and work on this. So you can use this if you'd like, but if you want to use the ND filter, you're going to have to use this little puppy. And I want to shave off as much weight as possible. You can just screw this on, but there's a gap And I'm going to take off as much weight as possible so that it's as lightweight as possible, and it gets the most flight time. We should be able to go ahead and play with it and get it mounted. Let's feel it out here real quick. I'll hold this down while I pull so I don't undo the work I just did. Hold it down while I pull. Okay, that's feeling pretty solid. Oh, so plug this in. Okay. Now then, we want the camera to go out this way. We don't want this to hit the gyro. So we're probably gonna go in that orientation. The antenna's coming out this way. So let's unhook it so we can work with it. Let's remove this back one first. And screw it out. And this time I wanted to go through the top instead of the bottom like last time. That way we don't have to use any sort of nut, what have you. make it easier to build. So we're going to run this through. I'll put a spacer on it. And then let's run that through the gummy and the washer. And let's screw it in. Okay. So let's repeat that. Let's do the front one this time. Oh, now I got to try and get that back in there. Okay. See if I can get this in position. Oh yeah. That was much easier than I thought it would be. Screw this down in there. Okay. Okay. So there's the stack. Now for the camera, until we get a shorter cable, we just got to make do. And what I have been doing, well, let's just go ahead and do the mount first. All right, so first things first. It kind of looks like a bow tie. We're going to place it underneath, push it into place. It's going to be a snug fit. Line that hole up. And then we're going to take another one of these, and let's just start a little short of halfway. We'll probably have to do this a couple times and cut it to the proper length. If it doesn't sit flush, then we'll come back and snip another piece off. Run that in that hole till you feel it touch your fingertip. Okay, and let me pull this other part over, pull it back, hold it with 2 fingers. I'm gonna do this until it bottoms out, and hopefully it's sitting flush. If not, we'll have to take a little bit off the length. Okay, yeah, that's sitting flush. It's nice and tough, so it's gonna look something like that. All right, that wraps around. Now then, the camera is going to come through like this. It's going to sit back here like this. So we're going to go ahead and do some wraps so we can try and do some management with this cable. There we go. Okay. Now for the cable. fold it over on itself into a little loop. Okay. Take a piece of tape of some sort. You can try and stuffing it up underneath here in between the two boards. I found that it was causing jello with just the vibrations it was causing the gyro. So I go this route, but you can try it. You may do better than I did. But I like this method personally. Give it a couple wraps to hold it. And then I'm gonna snip off excess. Okay. And then that gives me a little spot where I can come in here. We'll have to do this once we get small cables. Let me go ahead and use this tape. Attach it to the board, and then I tape it down till that dries. That way it holds the cable out of the way. Won't get chopped. And damaged and stuff. Literally just give that a couple minutes. Now, if you want, you can use this. If you just want to use, if you just don't want to put an ND filter on it, you can just slide this on the front of it and provide some protection to the lens. Like I said, I like to fly an ND filter on mine, so that's what I do. And this ND filter is from, these are DJIs from my Vata 2. Simply just put it on there. It snaps in place. And like I said, Newbie Drone has the ND4s, which there it is, which I picked up 4 of these so that I could have plenty with me. Remember, ND filters in FPV, ND filters are consumable. That's just the way they are. You lose them, don't get upset. It's just the nature of the beast. But there's an ND4 from Newbie Drone. Voila, there you go. So now let's remove the tape. That should be dry now. All right, and there's that. We're gonna bend this way. I wanted to go with the stubby so I could shave a little weight off, because the leads on the Tattoo 650, 2S 650 are pretty long. And there's no need for a long lead. I like to do props out. The last thing we need to do is do our antenna. This is gonna be a little tricky because it's upside down. I should have done this on. I should have done this before I mounted it. But you can bend them. Put about that much on it. Poke it through the hole. Flip this side over. Back on itself. Now let's screw. About like that. Nice and snug. Then rotate it. Get your antenna. And snip. There you go. Another Mobigital Pro that will go to work this weekend and pay for itself in one job. All right. With that said, peace out, man. If y'all enjoyed this, please subscribe. I appreciate a subscribe. It's just fun to see the channel grow, to see people digging what I'm doing, as an extension of my hobby. It's not for money. I'm not making any money. If I was wanted to make money at it, I'd be polishing. I'd be doing reshoots. I'd be doing scripts and stuff like that. I'm just too lazy for all that. This is just part of my hobby. So, if you like what I'm doing, hit a subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. All right. Peace out, y'all. Thank y'all.